Stock screen, performing a stock take. There are three types of stock takes you might want to do. The first one would be when you want to stock take every product in the store. The second scenario would be when you only want to stock take a particular group of products, for example, an entire shelf, an entire set of products by one supplier or category of products, that kind of thing. And the third would be going around and just doing random products that you see, sometimes called a spot check and things like that. Okay, so we're going to do all three of these scenarios. So to do so, you want to go into the stock functions and into the stock manager. Okay, so let's start and pretend as if we want to do the entire store. So under normal circumstances, you would search and find the products you want to begin a stock take with. But in our case, we're just going to go to stock take. Our first job in all three scenarios is to turn stock take mode on. Click that and it says that stock take mode is now enabled. Press 0 quantities on all lines and then count the stock levels. Okay, so we're going to press tick. So that means stock take mode is now active across all tills, all computers, all back offices on this particular store only, not the other stores in the organisation. So there's a little down arrow there. I'm going to click that and I'm going to press 0 all quantities across the system. Now, just to be clear, you do not have to 0 all the products if you don't want to, but 99 times out of 100 you definitely do want to, because if you miss a product, the system will think, oh, you had 3 and you've still got 3, whereas in fact you actually haven't got any, you didn't scan the product or anything, and therefore you can lead to problems with your stock take. So again, our recommendation is to always 0 the items and then start counting them. You are able to count your items while your store is still running as well. The system will be clever enough to know whether you're just selling an item or whether you're actually counting it for stock take purposes. Okay, so let's click on 0 all quantities across system. Are you sure you wish to 0 the selected items? We're going to say yes. Item set to 0, tick. So now every single product in the system should have a quantity of 0. So at this point now, if I was to just get the word test, I could start counting items. I could say I've got 3 of them, 2 of them, 4 of them, 6 of them, and so on. So I could have done it in the stock screen and just type them in there. I could do it on the sales screen by just putting the item in the cart and pressing the question mark and then removing them. But of course, the best way to begin a stock take or do a stock take is to use a PDA or the mobile app. Go around scanning products. The items that are close to the till, definitely use the till or the cash register's ability to count the items there and then. But for the items far away, you want to use a PDA. Okay, so we go back to the stock screen. And then when we're finished, we turn off stock take mode. Okay, so when we go to turn it off and we're finished with our stock take now, we just switch it off and it'll say enter a name for the completed stock take. Okay, so this could be aisle 1, shelf 3, dog toys, whatever it may be. But we're just going to say today's date, which is 25th of March 2024. Just put that in. Because there's a website integration set up, it asks me, do I want to remirror the quantities for the items affected? So usually the answer is yes. But in this case, I'm going to say no because we don't have any real website integrations. Stock take mode is now turned off. So that's us finished. We can now go about the business just like normal. But of course, we want to see what the results of the stock take were. So what we do is we click View Stock Takes. There's our stock take there like that. And if we click View Results, the stock take log shows you every single item that was scanned, especially if it's scanned multiple times, because you could scan it once in one place and then you might find more of the product somewhere else and increase it again. So if there's any discrepancies or issues, that's a good place to start. But we're just going to go with standard view. Okay, that comes up with this and it tells us what the quantity was before, what the quantity is after. The reason there's parentheses in next to the 0 and after the 0 is to say this item wasn't even scanned. So it was either missed or who knows. down at the bottom, you will see how many lines were below the original amount, how many lines were equal, how many lines were above the original amount, and how many lines were different. You can obviously see that in a valuation element as well. So this was the valuation before the stock take. This is the valuation after, because of course I only did 3 lines there. When you've got that information, you can print it, email it. It's up to you what you want to do there. You can also export your results to Excel if you wish to do any other actions after that. So another type of scenario of, if we just go back to this one here, that was the first one, stock taking all products. If we do the second one now, stock taking a certain group of products. Now to do that, all we have to do, it's very, very similar. You simply find a selection of products. So if I just put the word test in there, we could say we want to stock take these products here. So we go and turn stock take mode on, like that. And then we press this 0 quantities button. Do not just change it to 0 in the stock quantity down here. This 0 doesn't just set it to 0, but also puts like a place marker in there so we know before and after. So if we 0 these now, like this, are you sure? Yes. It zeros all the lines, and now we can start counting them. If halfway through the stock take, you wanted to add more items to this list, it's so simple. You just select them and 0 those as well. So again, we just go through these and start putting a load of numbers in, like that. Turn the stock take mode off when we're finished. We'll say selection of products. You would, of course, use something more appropriate. Let's tick on that. And if we go and view the stock take again, we'll go selection of products, view results, standard view. And now you only get the items you actually wanted to stock take. It just so happens not one of them are equal, but never mind. And then you can see the difference between the valuation before and again the valuation after. So if somebody has nothing to do, or they just want to give them a job of stock taking a particular aisle or shelf or something like that, that's a great way of doing it. Just perform your search of whatever you're looking for, select them all, 0 them, and then begin your stock take. Always give it at least a couple of minutes before you begin counting on the PDA, as it may need time to sync the quantities to the cloud. The third way is just as straightforward as well. You can simply just turn up, if I just show you on that there. So the third way is stock taking random products. Okay, so if we just want to stock take a load of random items without knowing what they are or anything like this, just turn stock take mode back on and start counting. So if I say that one is 5 now and that one is 3, turn them off, call it a spot check, no, tick, view. You will only see the lines you actually went around with the PDA and scanned and checked. So again, you can do all 3 types of methods, and all 3 have their uses and case uses in each situation.